Happy almost Halloween, folks. Whether you're going to trick or treat with your children or you're going to trick or treat at an adult themed party, make sure to have fun, make sure to check your treats, and make sure that you ingest only the best goodness for this Hallows Eve. And whether you're going to trick your treat or treat your trick, all I'm going to say is this much. If you see somebody dressed up like Leatherface, just say, hey, that's Franklin. Go over and bother them. I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Fright Night Dynamite from the Burt Ogden Arena in Edinburgh, Texas. So, let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. And yeah, this was certainly a Halloween-themed show that, look, there was a bit of silliness. There were things I didn't like. But I'm back to reviewing this show hours after it was done because, yes, for the last month or so, I had a different schedule and was able to watch a few episodes of Dynamite live. I'm also going to go to the end of the year and then reassess how much of modern wrestling I'm going to end up reviewing. So, let's get right on into it. Excalibur and Danielson on commentary. I mean, it wasn't a three-man commentary booth, but considering Danielson's the only one that actually knows anything about wrestling, it's basically a one-man commentary booth. So, Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy against Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta in a tornado tag. This is how they're starting the goddamn thing. Darby Allin, who pretty much is one of the only talents they haven't screwed up. He's tried to screw up his own body by doing a bunch of stupid shit because that's just how he is. And look, I've seen Darby at multiple indie shows before he got signed to AEW. I even got to talk to the guy. Like, he's got a unique charisma. He appeals to a wide variety of people. And he's stuck in this goddamn quagmire, giggity. But he did say if the Death Riders are around, he won't be far behind. There was somebody dressed up like Leatherface, and I wish that somebody had treated the Death Riders like Franklin from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you get it, you get it. Speaking of which, Darby Allin dove on Yuta while he was on a chair. I don't know what that chair did to deserve that. And then later, we got a table splash where Orange Cassidy got splashed through the table by Yuta. If the table hadn't broken, it would have broken itself out of shame being associated with those two. And Garcia failed to break up a pinfall properly. Good job. Look, wrestling is a tough business. People put their bodies, their lives, their health on the line. But when you can't do it on a big stage, you really shouldn't be featured there. So the Scorpion Deathlock tapped out Wheeler Yuta. That's fitting. Crank back a little harder next time, Darby. So, Cassidy then tosses candy to the crowd. And then Hook is backstage, and oh my god, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is there. It's Hangman Page all over again. More on him later. Renee is with Callis to hype up the Don Callis summit, and the Bucks show up, and basically Callis hypes them up for their entrance. Okay, whatever. He pulls his string. It's the Broke Bucks versus FTR versus Jet Speed versus Jurassic Express. Whoa. It's a four-way contenders match. The winning team faces off against Brodito at Full Gear. They're really setting up Full Gear quickly. I'll give them that much credit. They're really trying to push this pay-per-view. That's fine. Full Gear is one of the originals that they had. Stokely was on commentary. You know, for what that's worth. I'm amazed, actually, that he could see over the commentary table. They got a high chair that was tall enough so he actually could see over it. That's impressive. Referee Rick Knox, everybody just did stuff. This wasn't the most egregious four-way that I've seen, but seriously, I mean, fucking seriously, it's just more shit. More diving. I thought Knight might have hurt his knee doing a superplex spot, or taking a superplex, rather. Hopefully he's okay. I really, really hope that he's not hurt. And the Shatter Machine ended up pinning Kevin Knight a little bit later. It wasn't that it was a bad match, but I've just seen so many four-ways and three-ways and byways and highways and everything that I'm bored with it. And then recaps of Hangman versus Joe. Then coming up next, Jon Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly, the rematch. So back from break, we have the Callis Family Summit. So you're changing your story. Good formatting there. So basically, it's two long tables, but Takeshita isn't there. I don't think Trent is there for what that's worth, because Trent's pretty much useless. Hechicero got a chance. I believe Edinburgh is somewhere close to the Mexican border. I don't know. But Hechicero, look, he's talented. He is very good in the ring. Archer was on his phone for some reason. And Rocky Romero got to cut a promo. It didn't really matter much, but he's like, oh, we're the largest faction in all of professional wrestling. Yeah, maybe besides Bullet Club. And both factions mean about the same thing at this point. And it's all about the Callis family and this kind of stuff. Oh, there's a painting with him basically shirtless and everybody posed there. It's called La Familia. So many questions. I have several questions. Why is this like Attitude Era Ruthless Aggression bullshit on a 2025 wrestling show? I mean, if it's not good in WWE or NXT, whatever, it's not good for this. So, an oath to secrecy and whatnot, to bar, basically, whether we get injured or not, we're going to save each other. Takeshita finally shows up and gets a good reaction. Somebody had a sign that said Don Callis equals Yolanda Saldivar. Oh, and if you know, you know. To be fair, I actually think that Callis meeting the same fate wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I digress. The fans have had it with Callis. They don't listen to him. They just boo him. And basically he tells Takeshita, put your ego aside, shake hands. This is about your honor. Shake hands with Okada. Of course, Okada doesn't. He does the middle finger. And we're going to have a tag match on Collision. By the way, Josh Alexander also got a chance to talk. This faction is just full of people, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a great use of the people, but it is what it is. I mean, look, they're building the Takeshita Okada thing, but this really, and I'm goddamn serious, has to end with Takeshita demolishing Okada. I don't want no 25-minute classic. Because at this point, Okada cannot have a 25-minute classic. But this needs to end with a resounding victory for Takeshita. So they have a pre-tape with this masked woman named Olympia, who looks like she could lift a planet or rip a couple phone books in half or rip me in half for all I know. Statlander is backstage and basically says, Mercedes, if you want some, come get some or come talk to me or whatever. And the conglomeration entrance video. Why is it like a sitcom? Speaking of sitcoms, this show turned into a sitcom because we had Jon Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly, the rematch. Shafir's in the corner for what good that dumb broad does, which is really nothing. Referee Aubrey is there. And look, it's a Moxley match. I don't know why at this point they're trying to do anything with O'Reilly except have him, have occasional good matches. And he's really still very gifted, despite the fact he was off for a couple of years, or almost a couple of years because of a bad neck. Later, we basically got, a double count-out thing in the crowd while he had a front chancery and leg scissors, that kind of stuff, and was, locked onto that. The crowd was chanting bullshit. Then Shafir punches Aubrey. I mean, just, why not at this point? Why not just try to, drum up interest in Shafir, except to make me just question, why is this idiot signed to this company? She offers nothing. She isn't any good. Aubrey was able to take a better bump for Phoenix at the Defy show in like May or June of 2019 or whatever the hell it was. And I was there live and the fans were ready to jump the goddamn thing. But then again, Phoenix is a wrestler. Shafir's an embarrassment. So, and then the Death Riders run in. And everybody else runs in. Popcorn vendors. Then Darby Allin and Mark Briscoe are there. And Mark is like, I want our buddy Orange Cassidy to tell us what it's going to be. Oh, and by the way, Shafir tries to bow up and talk as if you deserve to fucking talk on a wrestling program. You undeserving twat. You are so pathetically useless. Shafir, Yuta, Garcia. I don't care if Garcia can do the moves. This is the most useless group of people in U.S. wrestling. I mean, if we go in the entire world, House of Torture is about the only one that's even full of more useless people. But it's going to be what I said. I said it was going to be Darby and friends against the Death Riders and Blood and Guts. And that's what it's going to be. And I guarantee they're going to find a way to have Willow in this goddamn match, because they're going to have somebody opposite Shafir, and this better end with everybody on the heel side slaughtered. I mean, I want them just totally beaten. I want epidermis hanging off of this goddamn cage. I'd say I want brain matter there, but none of these people have brains. Just this needs to be the end of the Death Riders. I mean, it needs to be a complete annihilation. Khan needs to wipe the slate clean. This entire Death Riders thing has been terrible. So, that is what it is. I mean, it's a Moxley match. What, do you expect me to fucking analyze it? Anyway, back from break, Mercedes is attacking Statlander. Badly, I might add, because trying to get Mercedes to actually put in some effort in something backstage. It's not her flowery, stupid-ass promo work, and it's troubling. They go to the ring. Here's Athena. Willow and Harley show up, and that's all I got to say right there. Until they put Mercedes where she belongs, which is nowhere near the goddamn title picture, then I will barely pay attention to anything she does. I'm sick of it. She can go work the indies and do all this stuff with the championships all she damn well wants. That TBS title needs to go on somebody that's worthy of it, because Mercedes has never been worthy of it. She has not elevated it. Now, part of that could be on Khan, but it's not any good. So anyway, Bandito was hanging out with his grandma, and his grandma's really proud of him. His abuela, I think that's the term. Good on them. It was a nice video. Hayter and Amanada took on the Sisters of Sin, Sky and Hart, and it's first round match for the inaugural Women's Tag Team Champions. And remember, the Sisters of Sin were hand-picked opponents, so it should be easy for Hayter and Amanada. And later, Tekla attacked, or Tekla, however you say it, attacked Hayter outside, and Amanada got pinned. It wasn't a bad match, but again, it is hard for me to take a goddamn tag field seriously, or a tournament field seriously, when you have fucking Riho involved. Stupid, worthless stick, but just put Windsor in the goddamn match herself. It's a lot easier to digest. So anyway, that's it. Amanada got pinned, so the Sisters of Sin move on. And backstage, we have Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford, and Penelope Ford has a sling. She tore something in her shoulder. Her UCL, her UCF. She tore the University of Central Florida. Ouch. She's going to be out a while. Now, I wondered if she had hurt herself doing the moonsault. Apparently she did. I'm not happy or whatever about her getting injured, but this is proof maybe you shouldn't be doing certain things if that's going to hurt you. If you don't do shit you don't know how to do. So hopefully she can rehab and come back, but it's like, if she's not better now, you know, like as far as in the ring, and she's really not, it might be better for her just to be on the sidelines as a manager. Megan then basically wants somebody to stand next to a god. And here's Shafir. Oh, for God's sakes, just abolish the tag division already. Let's put Shafir in this goddamn thing. Are you serious? I mean, why? What did I do to deserve this? Yes, me specifically. It is targeting me. You gotta have Megan cut the promos and carry the goddamn match? Oh boy, dear God. You might as well just put Megan out there on her own. So, Joe, Ricochet, Hook, and Lashley had a number one contenders match. The winner faces Hangman Page at Full Gear. I'm going to say this is the best match on the goddamn show, because at least you have enough people that have differing styles. Joe can do some dives, but is more of a power guy with some good submission skills, hence the Samoan submission machine. Lashley's just a fucking beast, still able to move like that at age 49, almost 50. Hook is unfortunately never going to get any better. He's a few years into this experiment. I think this is about what he's going to be. Ricochet did some cool dives, and everybody got a chance to do their stuff. We got some near falls. Lashley was hit by a chair, or hit by Ricochet with a chair, and then was like, what the hell are you doing? And also, all through this, it's like there was going to be nobody at ringside. So basically, if Khan just would have instituted that right away, it would have been like, yeah, nobody's going to be allowed at ringside except the participants. Okay, maybe if you instill that enough, then maybe when interference does happen, it'll actually mean something. Except I think the horse has not just left the barn, the horse got shot behind the goddamn other barn and got sent to the glue factory. That being said, Lashley was distracted just long enough for Hook to get tapped out. And then the costume crew shows up. Somebody in a chicken outfit, somebody in a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man outfit. And there's a bucket of beer there. Shivani's also there, but Shivani leaves while the crew comes out with this contract to sign. Well, then Joe ends up obviously, cutting a promo, talking everything, and suddenly Shivani shows up, back up, and he's in the corner, a toast, if I may, gentlemen. He's saying this off camera, and he left for a bit, so something's up. And he said, to all this, and to Hangman, the, living embodiment of cowboy shit. And then he reveals it. Oh my God, it's the same outfit. It's Hangman Page. And Big Pop, he nutshotted Shibata. See, if he'd hit him in the head, his new brain would have freaked out. He nutshot Hobbs, and then managed to crack a bottle over Joe's head, hit the buckshot, was beating him up, and then the officials came out. That was a good ending. I will give them that much. It's an ending that actually makes people wonder what's going to happen next. If only the rest of the show was that coherent. And if only Khan would admit that the Death Riders and other stuff has just been terrible. We'll see what happens with Blood and Guts. By the way, for the foreseeable future, except maybe at the end of this month, the very beginning, I think the very beginning of December, I might be watching one live. I don't know. I got different schedules coming up, but I'm going to the end of the year and I'm assessing this. I'm trying to go to 1 million views, basically, guys, and then I'm going to reassess what I do. But it's just, this wasn't a terrible episode of Dynamite, but it was not a great episode of Dynamite. It was what it was. It was holiday themed. So agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Rentlin, and until we are in Fright Night again. Sir, how many Fright Nights were there? I think there were 3. They remade it in 2011 with Colin Farrell, of all people. Anyway, I'll see you soon.